things we regret. That's why we created LifeBrand. LifeBrand connects all of your social media accounts and then scans them for potentially compromising posts. With just a few clicks, you can delete old, potentially harmful social media posts so they're gone for good. It's fast, easy, and protects your privacy. Stay in control of your online reputation. Visit lifebrand.life today.
Welcome back to Between the Vines. This is a very special episode. I'm your host, Todd and Trey, and we are
chilling at Maple Springs Vineyard. This right here is just beautiful.
Is the epitome of it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Just driving out here, you get all the elevations, and then you get here, and I mean, this vineyard is absolutely beautiful.
Let's hear a little bit about the vineyard and Maple Springs from Marianne herself.
First of all, we lucked out. In 1995, we found this unbelievable piece of property. It is literally a slice of heaven. We were able to sell our first family business in 2006, and in 2008 planted vines. So we work really hard at this, and we make fantastic wine.
Marianne, hats off to you for this beautiful vineyard.
So let's zero us in on the map. Where are we? Is this called Bechtelsville?
Bechtelsville, yes.
Yeah.
So if you hear people, this is our first time doing a show with a live audience, so we appreciate them coming out and hanging out with us.
This is cool.
Everybody's good? Yes, awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming out. This is so cool. This is our first time with actually people watching us.
Yeah.
So these are all supporters of the Eagles and supporters of the vineyard and great wine. So what a better combination of people to have here today to watch.
And it's after a win.
Yeah, well,
so we get to,
it's a lot happier. We're celebrating.
Yeah, we're celebrating a little victory wine for everyone. You know what I'm saying? So this is right on topic. Before we have our first taste, before we get into our first taste, we have to celebrate
house
something.
Dogs. Yeah.
AJ Brown coming in and just making history.
Yeah, just continuing his dominant performances. I think he broke the standing record of Calvin Johnson for the Lions, who had I think it was five consecutive games with over 125 yards or something like that, and AJ Brown beat that. Now he has 6 games in a row, still going. We could possibly be witnessing one of the greatest wide receiver performances of franchise history this season.
Wow.
There's a chance that he could go over 2,000 yards this year if he keeps up this pace.
Mm-hmm. No, so before we get our first taste, we have to celebrate that. And then we also have to celebrate a birth.
Yeah, so there was a lot of positives in there.
A lot of positives. We have to celebrate this birth. The birth of the brotherly sweep.
The brotherly misdirection.
Yeah, the brotherly shove sweep. Yeah. So we get the birth, the brotherly.
Just jam them all in the box.
Jam them all in the box and then hit them with a sweep. So let's go ahead and take our first taste in celebration of AJ Brown and the brotherly sweep.
We're drinking a Gruner Veltliner. Veltliner? I always have a problem with that one. 2 L's in there. Anyway,
yes.
Yeah, we'll drink it.
What's up?
These are
so
good
we
farm
have
dogs.
Gruner Veltliner. It's a beautiful wine, man. So
2022.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Victory
wine. Monday. Victory wine.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love that. And what we will do is that we're going to make sure that we get Marianne in here to kind of explain some of these wines to us and just give us a little bit about what's going on with the vineyards and the different tastes that we're experiencing here.
These grapes love it here. The Gruner Veltliner is our biggest seller to restaurant. It can handle seafood, but it can also handle Thai spice. And so the chefs in Philadelphia picked up on it really quickly.
Oh, sure.
And it's a great wine.
This is a very crisp wine.
Yes, it's a very
delicious.
Crisp wine.
It's very clean tasting.
Yes, but I like the fruitiness of it.
Crisp, fresh. I love it.
Yeah. This is a beautiful wine. But you know what though? So here's the thing. Like sometimes we come out, and especially here, like the scenery just makes it all taste so good.
I know. We're just looking at this valley.
It just makes it all taste so good.
The foliage is changing colors.
You see what I'm saying?
There's a little fog hanging in the air. It's Halloweeny. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So we're going with hollow wine.
Hollow wine.
Hollow wine is what we're dealing with.
The hollow wine
Hollow
ReWINE
wine.
between the vines.
Mm-hmm.
Tongue twister. Try that at the end of the show. Oh, you know what? Let's get to this real quick. If you like what we're doing,
yes,
please like, comment, and subscribe.
And share.
Your support means the world to us.
Yes, it does.
And we can keep going all
As
day.
we continue to grow.
Yes.
But all right, so back to AJ Brown, man. Just what he's doing as you see how he's just creating space. You know, I think that he's just an animal out there at receiver. You know, he attacks the ball. Just somewhere where even where you had Coach Sirianni talk about him, he showed film that, like, one of the things that came out is just how he showed film to the other guys and just talked about how he just catches the ball with his hands. He's unlike any other,
everywhere.
receivers that we've seen. And it just shows on the film.
Yeah, I think it's special. I think maybe one of the plays you're talking about is that back shoulder pass that they threw to him, where it was far beyond his back shoulder, and he just kind of reached out, grabbed it with one hand, got both feet in, and I think it was a touchdown on that one. It was such a beautiful play, amazing to see in person. As I was actually at the game this week, I got to experience the whole live venue of it, and it was slow start, but ended up being pretty happy toward the end.
Yeah.
But back to what you're saying about AJ Brown is he's just so dominant. And I think a lot of times when you see players having a season like this, one of the things that creeps into your mind is you're like, man, I hope he stays healthy, you know? But, you know, one thing I think about AJ Brown is, you know, not that he's a Superman or invincible or anything, but he is a durable receiver. He's thick, he's built well. It looks like he takes care of his body well. So I think that this is something that could be sustainable, like this dominance. He's already seen it for 6 games. I don't see why he couldn't keep this streak going.
You know, he's very smart with getting down when he needs to, but then also being physical with a lot of these cornerbacks out there. And then even when he does the interview at the end, and they were like, man, how can anybody stop you? And he's like, you know what? I don't even want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, let's just keep it.
Why would I tell you how to stop me?
No, like, why would I give you that? You know, let's just keep
that
it
seems
moving.
like a dumb question.
Yeah, so let's just keep it moving.
They can't. Ha 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 ha. Where's journalism going?
Yeah, so he just kind of just like, all right, he downplayed it. All right, I just want to continue my dominance and move on.
I think one of the things that's really helping him, though, and we can go ahead and talk about this, is the supporting cast.
Yes.
You know, just like here at the winery, I'm sure that it's not just one person doing everything. There's a huge supporting cast that goes into anything that's worthwhile or successful. And so, you know, that brings us into talking about his supporting cast on the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Dallas, you know, having another huge pickups, some nice catches, and Devontae as well out there doing his thing.
I think so. When you look at what Dallas brings to the table, especially when you have AJ Brown, Devontae Smith out there, those are the speed guys. Those are your big name receivers that's going to get out there and stretch the field. I think Dallas Goedert is extremely helpful when it comes to all those underneath passes. When everybody wants to play back and you want to try to take over the receivers, then here comes Dallas Goedert that's going to catch those underneath passes and get you some of those hard yards, especially when you're like in those short yardage situations where they want to give you a play fake or a play action, and then here you go, Dallas Goedert running off to the side of the field. You know, I think that only helps when it comes to opening up Devontae and AJ Brown as well.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I realized this week, and it's becoming a trend, is if you see how defenses are starting to play us, their linebackers are so downhill right now, and they're trying to fill all the gaps at the line and bounce everything outside and just stop that surge of the offensive line. But what that also does is that opens up a huge gap right underneath for play action, as long as you got the guys to keep the safeties deep and stuff like that. So that's going to open up a lot of things for Goddard too, as teams want to keep playing us like that. Are we ready for another taste?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to go ahead and let Marianne tell you about the 2021 Chardonnay.
So what we do, we barrel ferment our Chardonnay. And the goal was to take about the 30 barrels that we had going and then integrate them back into one to build something neat and really complex and seam it back together into something that was just a beautiful,
that's awesome,
beautiful piece of art.
That's really good.
Yeah, this is amazing.
That's very good. French and Hungarian oak, in case you were wondering.
Mm-hmm.
That is very good.
It doesn't have a heavy oaky taste to it, where it's been sitting in the barrel.
No, not at all.
Very smooth tasting wine. I really like this Chardonnay. Like you said, again, crisp. You know,
You know how we talk about that, like the wine has been around forever.
yeah.
So there's different techniques that you can use and stuff like that. I see here that this has new world and old world techniques mixed together.
And that's awesome,
That's
man.
special.
When you can mix the two techniques
It's
together.
like we're old world players talking about new world players.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
Because we are old world
Well,
players.
very well.
Consider, I mean, I've been retired now for what? I don't even, man, how long has this been, bro?
It's been a
It's
while.
almost, yeah, it's been, wow, it's been that long? Dude, I've been retired longer than I played.
That's
So,
crazy.
You know, so that, yeah.
There
so
you
we
go.
are old
World.
players talking about new world.
What? Okay, here, that brings me to a question. I was thinking on the way here. Is like, what stadium did you play in that probably makes you sound the oldest?
Wow. Okay. I mean, I played at the original Lambeau.
Before they ended the big skyboxes
before
and
they
stuff
ended
in
that.
there.
And then I played at the Rams when they had the old dome. I mean, I played at the Vet.
Yeah, I know that's
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I was thinking. I was like, he's probably gonna think about all these places he played, and then he's gonna be like, well, I played at the Vet. That makes me sound old as shit.
That's it. You know, I remember them blowing up the Vet, and then like we having to move over to Lincoln Financial. I was at,
very
you know,
gray,
all
very
of our
gray.
meetings were underneath the stadium. Yeah, when I first came in, yeah. So
So you got to lay the first farts in the new chairs in the practice facility.
Yeah. I was part of the first farts in the new in the new locker room.
Good for you. Good for you.
Thank you. So let's move on. Let's talk about Jaylen Hurts, man, and just how he's been playing. I think that.
Well, there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot to kind of dissect. You know, just because you know that the knee is still an issue.
Well, yeah, whether it's something structural or it's like a bruise that hurts really bad, it's affecting him, and that's like the bottom line. A lot of people want to know how serious it is and if there's like longevity concerns and stuff like that. But the bottom line is it's affecting him. You can see kind of how it's affecting him on the field.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, because you can see a little hitch in his giddy up when he has to get out. The one time where he had to run that went off to the left side of the field, you can kind of see that he was laboring a little bit trying to get out of bounds. Of course, he still had enough speed to beat the guy to the edge and where he was still able to get the first down. But I think that you can just tell by the way plays are being called that he doesn't run as much now. And I also think that helps defenses because you don't have to worry about Jaylen Hurts pulling it and getting out of the pocket and getting upfield. So
probably why you see backers more downhill and starting to plug it up a little more. They don't have to worry about that.
More downhill, and I think that's affecting the run game. So everybody will sit back and say, okay, well, hey, man, why aren't they running the ball more? Or why don't you still see these 100-yard games or however many yards rushing? Well, it's because Jaylen Hurts can't pull that ball anymore.
Right.
And I think that is affecting how everybody plays them.
Well, I mean, he could pull it, but the threat isn't there, right? I mean, and you're not going to put him in harm's way like that if he is banged up. Even if it is a knee contusion or something, dude, you don't want to hit it again.
Hand the ball off.
You don't want to hit it again.
I only want you
I wouldn't even have him brotherly shoving.
Well, no, the brotherly shove, I'm not.
What, you think is he just kind of like in there riding the wave?
Yeah, but brotherly shove,
like
you're
sardined
just
in there.
Forward. You're not.
He just lays on the lineman and just waits to ride the wave, kind of.
Yeah, but you're not worrying about that cut or you doing something that's going to.
I know, bro, but you're really worried about. I feel like banging it again.
Yeah.
Because if you got a bone bruise or something like that, or you're bruised up and you bang it again, that hurts so bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's it's tough pain to overcome.
So let's move on. Let's get our third taste.
Yeah. So this is the 2021 Hellcat Red.
Yeah.
But I do have a little tidbit of info that I was given.
Mm-hmm.
The Hellcat is a special tribute to your father, who flew a warplane named the Hellcat. There, but makes it a very special red. And you may notice it's raining.
Yeah.
We're doing it. This is football.
Yeah, this is football season. It's hollow wine.
Hollow wine.
Hollow wine. Cheers, man.
Cheers, bro.
Yeah.
Man, that's just so good.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I now that you're switching over to the reds, you're starting to feel a little bit more body to it.
Yeah, but it's light body. I feel like it's not a medium body red.
But I like the taste of this. It's it does have a fruit forward to it, I just love the taste of it.
To me, this is a good social hour, like bopping around. You know, like
just
you
hanging
show up
out.
to a cocktail party or
Yeah,
something. This is a great red to
when you have a
have.
glass of wine and you're just swirling it around,
you're
you're
swirling
just hanging
around,
out,
and
you're
then all of
being
a sudden it's
social.
gone. You need more.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have another one. You can't have too much of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I like it. Now we're on to offensive line play. I think that when you come back and you look at overall, I think they did a good job.
Yeah, I think they did a great job. They had some adversity they had to get through, right? Opeta, their backup.
Opeta goes down.
Oh, backup starter went down.
Yeah.
So we're in the third string now.
We have Steve come in, I
Steen.
believe. Steen.
Yes.
Okay, so Steen.
Alabama guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? When I watched him, when he stepped in, I liked the way he played the game. I thought that when he stepped in, there wasn't a huge drop off. I thought that stepped in, he did a really good job. He kind of reminded me of how we were taught to play.
Yeah.
Where he would take that set, shoot his hands. He was a
1-2 punch.
puncher.
1-2 punch.
Yeah. So he was one of those. I like when he stepped in. Yeah. I felt comfortable with him stepping in and playing.
I thought he looked good. He looked like his technique was sound. He looked very serviceable. But as we saw, Opeta did come back in, which, dude, one thing that I was thinking is what we are seeing from this team is it's really easy when you get nicked or you're not feeling like you can play 100% to just bow out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And these guys all want to be on the field. They all know something special is taking place this season. They want to be out there. They want to contribute. So guys are like clawing to get back out on the field, And I think what we were saying earlier, a lot of that's from the example of their leader, the head honcho. Yeah. Jaylen, the guy that takes the reins. If he's out there banged up, their linemen are like, I can get back out there. I can do it for him.
Absolutely. You have to go into the whatever issue unless you have a bone
sticking out of your leg.
Yeah. You're like, all right, you know what? I'm going to you see this? There's bone hanging out my leg. I cannot go. But
tape it up.
Yeah. They're like, you know what? All right, it's only partially breaking the skin. Tape it up. Let's go.
Right.
And when you have a quarterback that's out there that's giving it to you like that, it makes you want to battle for him, man.
Yeah.
And I think that's just a hat tilt to just Jaylen Hurts and what he means to this team to have Opeta go down with whatever issue that he was dealing with to say, you know what, all right, get me back out there on the field. I want to go.
Yeah, Lane and Jordan, I think, had a really good game. Yeah. I think that they both did a good job of, keeping their guys wide, keeping the pocket wide. They're able to rebound. I think they're doing a really good job of being consistent, and as an offensive lineman, you just want to be consistent.
That's all you want to be. You just want to be consistent, and you don't want to get beat, and you don't want to get beat quick.
Yeah. You can't lose fast.
No, you don't want to lose fast.
If you lose,
slow.
You grab them and pull them down with you as you're dying.
That's a slow death. It's a good death. So if you get put on your ass, you want it to be slow and all right, I put on my ass. Okay, please have getting rid of the ball. Please, I hope you got rid of the ball. But if you lose, you want to lose slow as an offensive lineman. And I think that these guys have been doing a really good job of that. They came out of there with a win. I think that Jaylen Hurts, he's doing a good job of protecting himself and making sure that he's doing what he needs to do to kind of cover himself.
Before we head on to our next tasting, we are going to get to our wine word of the day, which is brought to you by Birds Nesting. Birds Nesting is a real estate and lifestyle service for professional athletes, coaches, and families. Moving to a new city is a big challenge and comes with a lot of changes. Let Birds Nesting assist you in finding the perfect place to live, help settle you and your family in a new community with our connections and trusted recommendations. Please go to birdsnestingphl.com for more information. Birds Nesting for an easy landing. Anyway, the wine word of the day is tannins. Okay. And you hear that thrown around a lot, right? A lot. So tannins are a texture derived from the skins during the maceration process. Okay. And I don't like to use a definition for a word with a word that's unknown. So the maceration process, which I was just informed of, which I was wrong. I thought it was like the mashing of the grapes. I was wrong on that. That's just called stomping, apparently. I don't know. Okay. But maceration is where you kind of let the wine sit in a barrel in a barrel with the skins, the seeds, And do you throw hunks of wood in there with it?
No.
No. Skins and seeds, and you just kind of let it pull all that goodness out of there.
At some point, we're going to go through the process of making a wine.
We will. And we'll be able to witness the maceration process.
Yeah, we got to go through the whole process of making a wine.
But not this episode. So back to the tannins.
Yeah, so tannins, yes.
To elaborate on tannins, the tannins is gives kind of the depth to the wine. How you feel it in your mouth is kind of belongs to the tannins.
Okay. All right, cool. I'm glad you explained that. Yes, so we're about to switch over. We're going to have Marianne come in and explain to us a little bit more about the New Leaf American Rosé.
So there's a lot of freedom in what you could do to create a rosé. And in this case, this was specifically pressed off. So there's a couple of different ways to make rosé. You could either bleed off the juice or take fruit that was grown specifically for it and press it for the rosé. And the color is coming completely from the skin. So the longer you leave that in contact, the more intense the colors.
Gotcha.
So that goes back to your maceration. Yeah. This one is featuring a majority of Malbec, which is a beautiful Bordeaux grape. It also has Cabernet Sauvignon, but then we put a twist on it and put a little bit of Petit Syrah in it.
That's a good rosé.
I like it. I like rosés more. I'm more of a rosé drinker in the summer. Summer times, but I do like this. This is very good.
I mean, it's autumn and it tastes good. So it's got to taste good in the summer, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's switch over and talk a little defense, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little defense.
Well, that could be tough to do.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think they had their best performance.
It was not their best performance going into this game. I think that when you go back and you watch this game, the first thing you looked at was how Washington kind of controlled the line of scrimmage. It seems like over the past couple of years, man, Washington has been playing them extremely tough. And I think adding Eric Bieniemy to this situation, Eric Bieniemy is coming from Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes and the whole offense where he's going to make you defend every blade of grass on that field. I think that gave the Eagles it gave this team a problem.
So there's new pieces out there, and you can't just get put into a new defense and just expect everything to go perfectly. That would never happen, no matter how many years veteran you are.
Yeah.
So I think he was able to see hey, there's probably going to be some gaps in the zone or some confusion of responsibility or something on the back end, and I can take advantage of this. I didn't think that Reed Blankenship had a great game. I thought that he was pretty active, in the run and making tackles and stuff. But as far as coverage, he kind of got his hips turned the wrong way on that touchdown, and the dude just kind of ran right by him. It almost looked like he didn't know if that was his responsibility. But that's that's Bieniemy's no slouch. He's a good play caller. He can see ways to exploit stuff. He's been under good tutelage for a long time, coming from Big Red and stuff. So, new pieces versus a lot of play calling experience. I think that you're going to see some exploitation, and nothing to concern me. I don't think, because guys still made good plays when it came time to make plays and stuff like that. Reed didn't have a great game, but he had a crucial pick.
Yeah.
It's going to take time to mesh.
You know how I watch the game. I sit there and I track every play.
Yeah.
Washington is the dominating the line of scrimmage. All right. So, hey, where's Jordan? Big Jordan Davis. Where are defensive linemen that's stopping this surge? And then he came out and he said, you know what? He had a hamstring issue.
Not necessarily 100%.
I wasn't 100%.
Man, it's week 8. Nobody's 100%.
A little tender.
Nobody's 100% week 8.
But he was feeling a little tender. And he was playing a little soft. And I think that this is his second year as a pro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is his second year as a pro. Everybody that's gone in the first round and that has been that marquee play, because I had to have that look in the mirror as well, where it's you know what? You got to put all that little soft, this right here twings a little bit. Yeah, I had a moment. You know what I'm saying? I had a moment. It was my second year. We played in Dallas. Now, let's not talk about me. let's keep it focused on Jordan right now. Let's
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Let's stay on Jordan
Stay
Davis right now.
focused.
You know, we'll get to me. So Jordan, I just felt like, you know, he had to have that look in the mirror, and he came out and said, you know what? I have to be better. You know, you got to play through those little twinges, those little aches, because you got guys out there depending on you. And you can see how when you don't play to your level, how that affects the game and how that affects everybody else. And I think that moment right there is what's going to bring him and going to make him a much better player. When you go back and you look at when this defensive line was at their best, and I think that this defensive line was at their best during the Chip Kelly era, you know what I'm saying? Because they dominated the line of scrimmage, man. I think that, I can't think of the defensive line coach at the time.
Was that Azanaro?
Azanar, yeah. He
Jerry.
was, man,
Great
I
dude.
liked them as a defensive line
Great
coach.
dude.
And I think that defensive line was at their best during that era. But I think that, you know, when you got Fletcher Cox and all them, man, you got to have Jordan Davis. He has to be that guy.
Yeah.
You know, Jalen Carter is the guy that's going to be your pass rusher, that's going to slip the guard and give you that extra pressure up the middle. But Jordan Davis, you are the one that has to take on the double team, that's going to free up Fletcher Cox, or someone that's going to allow those linebackers to come downhill.
Let's talk about your realization now.
Okay, my realization.
When was it?
We had to talk about me.
When was it?
About me.
I mean, everybody
It's
wants to
the
know
past
about
game.
Trey.
We're rewinding the game, not
Rewind
rewinding history.
What?
Right,
This
so,
is the vintage. This is good vintage stuff, right?
So all right.
Wine is better with age.
All right. So
right?
all right. So 1 year, I had a growing issue. I had a growing, and then, you know what I'm saying?
The old groin injury,
Yeah,
the one
the old
injury that
groin.
nobody can prove is actually there except for you.
There. It was there. It was a phantom.
The groins,
Yeah.
all the soft tissue issues, hard to prove.
Yeah, but I mean, it was growing. I mean,
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And it was deep in the
It
groin.
hurt,
I mean,
yeah.
you know, and I don't
There you
need
go.
everybody up in there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's I had a growing issue, you know, and we went to go play Dallas, and I'm like, man, hey, Big Red, and it was actually my second year, and I was like, Big Red, man, my groin's not feeling right.
Who were the DNs?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Back then, I mean, it was
Didn't have to play against
because
them.
Greg Ellis had came in with me, so it was Greg Ellis.
Okay, yeah.
And then it was probably, I don't know who it was at the time, but I was just feeling like, man, my groin, I can't go. And I'm like, man, all right, Big Red was like, all right, you know what, you're being soft. You know what I'm
Big
saying?
Red told you?
Yeah, well, he didn't say that.
He kind of looked at you like,
but he kind of looked at me like, all right, you know what, you're being soft right now.
so your groin's hurt?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You can play or you can't play. I don't know. What are you trying to tell me?
You're not, you know, and I'm like, man, Big Red, I don't know, man, you know, and I ended up not playing that game, and that's like, those are the type of situations that haunt you. You know what I'm saying? Because like,
could I have gone?
Huh?
Could I have gone?
Could you have gone?
Could I have changed the outcome of the game?
Things that haunt you, because you know what I played 12 years in the NFL, and you know what bothers me are the situations where I should have been better, and not all the good stuff that I did. You know what I'm saying? Because you did a lot of good stuff, but it's those one or two things that you didn't do right, or just wasn't where you should have been, that really haunt me to this day.
Well,
and that game right there is the one that bothers me. And then the time that we went to Dell State, you know what I'm saying? It was just something totally different, you know? But don't worry about that. We're off the rails.
It's very haunting.
All right, so here we go. We're moving on.
So what's the perfect night out? Any night spent at Pinot's Palette. Pinot's Palette. Paint, drink, have fun. Sign up online for your class today.
All right. Are we talking about my game experience?
Yes,
yeah. So anyway, I was able to go down to the game live this week, do the whole experience. I don't go to a lot of away games. Actually, this is my first one. Went with my wife, had a good opportunity, and we decided to go down and do the whole tailgating thing, you know, walk into the stadium, sit amongst the fans, really just feel the energy.
Yeah. On the road, too.
On the road.
Yeah.
So, like, the whole thing, the tailgate was cool. A lot of great fans. You know, we travel well. Philly travels well. Shout out to Philly for being all across the globe, because we travel well, and we had a great representation there. Walking to the stadium, great experience, dude. If you've never done it and you're a former player, you got to do it. You just hear all the joining that fans do back and forth on the way in for a good, half-mile walk. It's just constant shit talking. I loved it. It was great. And then you get into your seats. Hey, no, you're trash. No, you're trash. And then they start breaking back into like different eras of trash.
Oh, okay.
It's great. It was really something to behold. But one thing that I saw in person that I did not see in any televised games in Washington ever, and it took me off, was this pig mascot that they got.
Okay.
There's this like very pink, cartoonishy pig-looking mascot.
The commander.
Well, I did a little Googling.
Okay. You Googled.
Turns out his name is Major Tuddy.
Major Tuddy.
Tuddy is short for touchdowns, apparently.
Oh, okay.
And Major is a rank in the military, Major Tuddy.
Okay.
But it's a pig, a cartoony pink pig.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not very awe-inspiring. And on top of this, he was in a panda costume. I think like maybe a Halloween theme
so he was
type thing. It was a pig dressed as a panda.
But you know what? Because all right, so it's not just a pig. Because they're when they made this mascot, it was because of the homage of.
So that's another layer of it. The Hogs with
the old offensive line back.
Right, like Russ Grimm and who was the John Riggins? I think was the running back with the Hogs were going. They had like the counter tray play was like their thing, right? But they actually tried a lawsuit to have them not do this pig mascot because they didn't want it.
No. So nobody wanted it.
And then the commander said, "We're going to do it anyway." Here's Major Tuddy.
Pig as a mascot, it makes me think about a barbecue place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking,
100%.
It was a pig. All right, cool. This must be a barbecue place.
Got me to thinking.
We're going to get some fire ribs from here.
It's the newest mascot in the NFL. It was released in like 2023. It has to be the worst mascot in the NFL.
Yeah.
And
then it was dressed as
it's not good. Yes, the panda pig.
Yeah, that didn't help at all. It didn't make you get you fired up.
No, it didn't get me fired up, but it made me feel confident that we were going to pull it out, even though it was a slow start. But as soon as he came out in the panda costume, I was like, "Oh, yeah, we got this. We got this." The momentum is swinging in our way drastically at this point. Yeah.
So we're on the 2021 American Red Wine, which is a bold red and black fruit.
Bold red with black fruit?
Yeah. I'm sorry. So what?
Yeah, Marianne's going to tell us a little bit more expertise on this wine, and we're going to sit here and drink it and enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers, my brother.
Cheers.
We were able to source grapes from Horse Heaven Hills in Washington. It's about 31% Merlot, 30% Cab, 21% Malbec, and the balance is Syrah.
Yeah. I do taste black fruit.
Now that we're tasting it a little bit more, and we've been into the wines and you're tasting black fruits, you are starting to pick up on that a little bit.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. It's awesome, man.
Well, yeah, that's our palate evolving.
Yeah, our palate is evolving as we continue down our trail.
Just bettering ourselves.
Yeah, we're just trying to get better. That's all.
With everything in life, you should always strive to be better. So we're trying to be better wine connoisseurs. Mm-hmm. The nose on it, it's kind of like spicy a little bit. You know, I could see drinking this, full belly, sitting there and just enjoying this, like having a nice conversation. Seeing what kind of thoughts are popping into our heads. Yeah, this is a very relaxing tasting wine.
I like this. This is amazing wine.
Let's talk about Hassan Reddick, because he just seems to be becoming a big, when there's a chance for the other team to hey, we're going to go ahead and drive down and maybe make this a close game or win the game or something. He just seems to come out and put a kibosh on all their plans.
Yeah, he's become the closer.
Yeah.
He's become the Eagles' closer. And, you know what? It's so hard to talk about his style of rush because it becomes different.
He's fluid.
He's very fluid.
Very fluid.
He's very fluid. He doesn't have a stutter step. It's all in rhythm, and it's just the timing of it and how he attacks the outside hand. When you go back and you look at the sack, and it was a clean hand swipe, and he just came in, cleaned his outside hand. And even when we talked about this earlier, I talked about it before, once he beats the tackle, he turns and he hits the edge, and he's coming in sharp. So it's not like one of those rushes where he beats the tackle and then it's this long loop around to get back to the quarterback. Once he beats the tackle, he is cutting the edge and he's getting there quick.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes him effective.
He's catching a lot of his success towards like late in the game. That's why we're calling him the closer. That actually would be so baller to have as your title. Like it flashes on the screen, Hassan Reddick, closer. Right? Like,
because I'm coming out there and I'm doing my sack and we're going thumbs up.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm the closer. You're done.
And I think that's amazing. He is just such a great. He is as valuable to this team as A.J. Brown is to this offense. I mean, come on, man. I mean, on the defensive side, on the defensive side of the ball, you know, when you need a sack.
Yeah, I mean, he is coming up big. It's hard to argue against that.
Extremely valuable on the defensive side of the ball. I mean,
but we're talking about a historic season.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, last year was his year.
Yeah, he was on the verge of history last year. You're right. You're right. He was
only a couple sacks away from the sack record. I mean, you know, Strahan only got that record because Brett Favre fell. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like he just took a drop. I mean, you know, they should take that sack away.
It's the brotherhood.
Yeah, you know, they should take that sack away. You know what I'm saying? But you know,
they should chalk it up to the brotherhood.
Yeah, that's the NFL. that's the NFL. The NFL shield.
We like how this story sounds. We're not necessarily going to send you a script, but we would really like if he broke the record.
Yeah, we need him to break the record. So there you go. So that's it, man. But I think Hassan Reddick is just an amazing rusher. I think he's very valuable to this defense.
I do too. I think he's, you know, I'm a fan favorite.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a favorite. He's a favorite player of mine on the defense. I like his game. I would wear a Hassan Reddick jersey.
You're right. Yeah.
I would wear. So I've got kind of like a rule for jerseys.
I want to hear this.
Legends or current players only.
When it comes to jerseys?
Yeah, like I can't be out there with somebody.
I would have to have a legendary current player. So like a Kelsey.
So you're talking about like a Kelsey or a Lane or yeah.
Or you know.
So it's too early for you to wear a Reddick jersey.
Huh?
It's too early for you to wear a Reddick jersey.
No. I think he's good. But you know what? Though, but okay, so we're linemen.
He's currently legendary.
I think so. Like he almost broke the sack record.
True. So you'd wear a Jason Badman jersey?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, he was real close to the record too, right?
Yeah, but was he with us?
Yeah.
Know.
With Washburn.
Yeah, I don't know. But I wear a Reddick.
Moving on. You'd wear a Reddick?
I wear a Reddick. I would wear a Kelsey.
Interesting.
Yeah. Who else would I wear? I would wear an AJ. But you know what? Okay.
Would you wear another tackle's jersey?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what?
Because I thought about this, and remember Brandon Brooks was like, you know, a great guard, all pro.
So for your
and he was 79. He was my number two.
Was your number two. I was like,
I can't do it. I don't
know if I can wear. Okay, so as an offensive lineman, because we big body guys.
Yeah.
Would you put on a receiver jersey?
I'd wear a Harold Carmichael jersly or a Mike Quick jersey.
It has to be a legend.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't go AJ Brown?
I mean, I'd feel a little like fanny about like wearing an AJ Brown jersey. You know, I do like I could fanny. I wasn't trying to say like fangirly, I'd just be a little too much of a, you know.
Okay, so you would not do that one. Okay.
I would feel better about wearing a current like trench player jersey.
Trench player guy,
yeah, like me. This is me going to the game. I'm wearing even it's still early.
Yeah, it's still early.
I'll wear a BG jersey. I'll rep a BG jersey. It was also my number in college, so I would love to wear a BG jersey. You know what I mean?
Fletcher Cox?
I would wear a Fletch jersey.
Okay.
Hey, bottom line, it's a win.
It's a win.
We had a great week.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful spot. Let's bring Marianne in and talk to her about it.
Absolutely. Great.
All right, so we're here with Marianne, the owner of the property, the owner of Maple Springs Vineyard, and Jeff Stebbin, who is the winemaker here, who is overly qualified to be making wine in PA.
Yeah.
But we got him.
Yes.
And we're not going to let him go anywhere.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
For sure.
So let's go ahead and taste this Il Italiano, which is what? Not that one. Yep, this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is 2020,
It's
2022.
2022.
Okay.
So this is a very young wine. And we wanted to create a very young red wine because people don't get to taste that. And we also wanted to kind of create a wine that was sort of like a Venditable style Italian wine. So it was super approachable. It was friendly. It's the kind of wine that you would sit down before you even eat anything and have a glass of this sitting on your table, and just it starts the conversation. It brings in the friends. It gathers everybody
Italian.
together.
Yeah.
And exactly.
All Italian grapes. So it's a base of Sangiovese with
That is delicious.
Primitivo and Barbera. And it's a classic blend. But Jeff does a great job with it.
And I'm part of the club.
You are
I
part
heard.
of the club.
I am part of the club.
Trust me,
I
I've
am a
heard
card
from 4 or
carrying
5
member.
different people that you joined the club.
Yeah, I am part of the
Catching a
club.
lot of pressure.
So our members get the whole Todd, the members get kind of the whole seasonality.
Here comes the sales pitch.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, this is
yes. So you need to go become a member.
We harvest with our members. All these guys come out.
That's very cool.
Grapes. We crush with everybody, and then you come out in the winter and you taste out of barrels. So you actually know the difference between Hungarian and French and neutral.
Or you can act like you do.
Or you can act like
you get to actually experience and learn what that tastes like.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when you serve a bottle of our wine after you pick the grapes, you serve it a little
prouder.
differently.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You're involved. You're involved.
Yes.
You're a part of it. Yeah, I got that.
Oh yeah. And like, share, subscribe.
Comment too.
And comment
we read
too.
the comments.
Yeah. Read some of the comments.
Also, if you have any questions or anything that you would like to ask us, you can email us at betweenthevines7279@gmail.com.
Yes.
If you guys want us wearing clothes that you make, send them our way. If you want,
Well, it depends on what you're making.
If you,
you know what I'm saying, let's. It depends on what you're making.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you want to feed us while we're drinking wine, send your food our way.
It depends on what you're
We're
cooking.
wide open for everything.
Yeah.
Cheers to you guys. Thank you so much for having us out.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Hit 'em high. And watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly. On the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S.